Nia with Xquisite Floral Design and Events. And today I get asked this question all the time. So I'm engaged, and now what do I do? Series on the different things that you can do now that you're engaged to prepare for your wedding. This is such an exciting and fun experience that you should enjoy and have everything that you desire for your big day. So number one, let's talk about budget. What is your budget is the question. You and your fiance need to sit down and have a talk about what is your budget, how much do you plan to save, how much do you plan to receive from family. So once you and your fiance have sat down and figure out your amount, then you need to know what is important to you and your fiance. Write down what are the 3 most important things that you want at your special day. So once you know these, maybe you can cut down on some of the other things that are not so important to you and your fiance. For example, my top things were flowers, the location, and the entertainment. So here is the typical breakdown for your budget amount. Normally, 14% goes to the location, 14% goes to attire, 4% goes to your ceremony, 40% goes to reception, 4% goes to transportation, 8% goes to flowers, 12% goes to photographer and videographer, 8% goes to entertainment, 4% goes to stationery, and 3% just for anything else. So like me, my important parts were, like I said, flowers, entertainment, and location. So I put a little bit more into my flowers, a little bit more into my entertainment, and a little bit more into my location. But my favors weren't that important to me because of the fact that normally people just get them and throw them away. But I got a video coming on some very great favors that you can do where they're just not tossed to the side. Attire, it was a little important, but not that important to me. So my dress wasn't a really, really high-end dress. It was expensive, but it wasn't that expensive. And transportation wasn't that big thing for me too. I just got a limo for myself and my fiance, or my husband rather, from this location to the next. And what else wasn't that important? Everything else was really important to me because I spent a lot on stationery. When I got married many years ago, my stationery, I felt like you needed a thick piece of paper because I was going to introduce people to how the event was, or that's like the, how would you say, the presentation of how the event's going to be. It's going to set the tone. There you go. It's going to set the tone of the event. So my stationery was really, really nice. Now that you guys know what's really important to you, the number 2 thing that you guys need to do next is you need to crunch those numbers. So now you know how much money you have. Now you know the percentage everything goes. You need to write this stuff down and then allocate a little bit different. Take a little bit off of what's not important to you and put a little bit more on what's important to you so that you can find the right match for what's important to you, or the right vendor that's important to you. And that's one thing to remember too. Make sure that you are picking the vendor, for the vendors that you really want to work with for your important category. So now that you've talked with your fiance, you got that budget, you've crunched the numbers, now it's time for you to do some research and find those vendors And one of the greatest things to do is ask for a referral. Your friends probably are getting married. You know people who've already gotten married. Ask them, like, oh, who did this? Who did that? Then you can also go to some of those popular sites like the Knot, Wedding Wire, and kind of find different vendors off there. What I suggest is you look at their pictures, look at their reviews, and then send them a inquiry. Now, I don't suggest you get the cheapest person, and if it's something that's very, very important to you, I do suggest that you want to pay a little bit more, because you're going to get the quality. You know, remember that old saying, you get what you're paid for. I'm always leery on somebody who is just too cheap. They've got to be cutting corners somewhere, or they're not going to give you what you are looking for. So that is one thing to be aware of. And then don't get upset if you pick that cheap person and they did not give you the quality that you were expecting. And one of the second biggest thing you're going to spend the most money on compared to a house. So you really, really want to make sure that you are getting quality and you're not just picking the most cheapest person out there for what you're looking for. So I hope this is helpful for you. I gave you 3 tips that you can use now that you're engaged and you want to start doing that planning. I hope you like my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Hehehe